NXT TakeOver Toronto takes place this Saturday in Toronto, Ontario, Canada at the Scotiabank Arena. And this is the second NXT to take place in Toronto. The first was in 2016, 3 years ago, and that was before Survivor Series. Here is a SummerSlam. We're not calling it Toronto 2, they're just calling it Toronto, so it's 2019 version, I guess. It's their second Toronto show. And it has a cool logo. It's a Canadian-themed logo. I like it. It's kind of like a moose, that's what it is. And the matches you have on the show are 5 matches, with 4 of them being title matches. You look down this card, I think this should be a great show. You have a 2 out of 3 falls match, which is complicated. I don't know how it's going to go, but it's going to be a singles match, a street fight, and if it's one apiece, which it's probably going to be, William Regal decides what the final stipulation is. So that's the main event with Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano, the most complicated 2 out of 3 falls match, which is very strange because they just had a 2 out of 3 falls match at the New York show during WrestleMania weekend. They go from 2 out of 3 falls to singles match to 2 out of 3 falls with stipulations. It's a very strange progression with that feud. But we'll get to that at the end. That's the main event. Let's look at the first match that's probably going to be earlier in the show. It's a women's match. It's the only non-title match on the show. It's Candice LeRae against Io Shirai. This is a very interesting match. Candice and Io can have a fantastic match. I think this will definitely, without question, blow the women's title match away because I don't think anyone really cares about Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim that much. This match should be fantastic, and I think they will have a much better match. You have this match on the show for a reason, and I think what you look at is Io Shirai has lost to Shayna Baszler twice. She lost to her at the last TakeOver show, and then she loses to her a second time, and she can't get her title shot back. She lost the second match was on NXT. So it looks like Io Shirai is done with Shayna Baszler, and Baszler does not have to face her again. Baszler goes to Mia Yim, who I think is just a stepping stone for Candice LeRae, because I think Candice LeRae will face Shayna Baszler at the next show, which will be Survivor Series weekend. I think that's in Chicago. I think that's the next step for Candice and Shayna. I think Candice LeRae beats Io Shirai here. I think they have a great match. It'll probably be second on the show. They'll probably start with the tag title match, but I think this goes on next. I think they'll have a very good match. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Candice LeRae beats Io Shirai cleanly, and then she goes on to face Shayna Baszler the next show. Next, we go to the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Street Profits, Angelo, Dawkins, and Montez Ford defending their tag team titles against the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. How this match goes, this will be a fantastic match. They had a great match at the last TakeOver in the ladder match at the 25 show. That was a great match. This will have a great match in between these two teams because it'll probably start the show. The crowd's going to be into it. Montez Ford had a huge showing at the last show. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish were both great. These guys are going to work well together. Again, it should be perfect to start the show off. I have no doubt that's going to be a great match. You just know with an NXT Tag Team title match to start the show, it's literally impossible for it not to be great, and I'm 100% certain this is going to be a fantastic match. I'm going to go with an upset. The reason why I have new champions, I'm going to pick the Undisputed Era to win the titles, is we've seen the Street Profits on WWE TV. They've been on TV for several weeks, just doing meaningless backstage skits. I don't think they're going to go far on the main roster. I just don't think Vince sees much in them, more of a comedy act. I don't think he really sees them necessarily as a top star act. But one thing I would say about the Street Profits is because they're on the main roster now, they may as well just move them there permanently. I think they're losing the belts here. It is a quick reign, but I think they're going to do something special with the Undisputed Era on the show. So I'm going to go with the Undisputed Era to win this matchup here. I think they regain the NXT Tag Team title. So I'm going to go with Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, beat the Street Profits to get their titles back on this show. Next, a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. The Velveteen Dream defends his title against Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. So this will be a great match, I have no doubt. These three are all great. Velveteen's great. Pete Dunne's one of the best wrestlers in the whole world, and Roderick Strong's always been great. He's been one of the best wrestlers for a while, even though he may not be very entertaining. This match is going to be great. There's no doubt, again, like you have a stat card, just a stat card here. Fantastic matchup. I'm expecting a hell of a battle. Should be very interesting because they don't usually do triple threat matches too much in this thing. They really do singles and tag team matches. They don't go to that well too often, so it's fine to do a triple threat match here. I've got the Velveteen Dream going to the main roster soon, so I think he's going to lose. Pete Dunne can win, but it's a North American Championship. Why does he need it? He's from the UK, but I can see Pete Dunne going to the title, the main title picture, so I don't see him winning. If you're following me, why I said there's going to be something special at the Undisputed Era, I think that's going to happen here. I'm picking Roderick Strong to win the North American Championship. I think Velveteen Dream's going up, but I don't think Pete Dunne really needs to get the belt here. I got Roderick Strong winning because it's a surprise to some of you. I think he gets the belt, and that makes the Undisputed Era 3 of them champions. So I picked O'Reilly and Bobby Fish to win the tag team titles. Now I'm picking Roderick Strong to win the NXT North American Championship. Co-main event, NXT Women's Championship. You have Shayna Baszler defending her title against Mia Yim. So I don't know why Mia Yim's getting this title shot. I don't think she's a star at all. I just don't see anything in Mia Yim. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see it. I don't know. I've never been a fan of Baszler. I'm not looking for a match. This match probably going to be by far the weakest match. Not a fan of Baszler as champ. She's there because Ronda. I know the company loves Ronda, and yeah, they should. She's a big star and all. I just don't care much about Baszler at all here. Mia Yim's not winning this match. Baszler retains. As I said, I picked Candice LeRae to beat Io Shirai because I think it sets up Candice and Shayna. It's probably the best program they can do in NXT for the women's division right now, I guess. So I think Candice beats Io, and I think Shayna 100% beats Mia Yim, and it sets up Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae for the NXT Women's title at the next TakeOver. Now, the main event. 2 out of 3 falls NXT Championship. You have Gargano and Cole, as I said earlier, choosing their own stipulations. Gargano wants a street fight. Cole wants a singles match. So I think they start with the singles match. I think Adam Cole made his decision here. This is Adam Cole's decision, so it makes sense. It makes sense for him to win. What I'm going to say is Johnny Gargano pins Adam Cole cleanly in a singles match. I think it happens because they're going to do reverse. One beats one in their own match. I think Gargano pins Cole cleanly in a singles match. He wins the first fall. That puts Johnny Gargano up 1-0. I think he beats Adam Cole cleanly, and then it sets up the street fight, which is Johnny Gargano's special. And there, I think Adam Cole pins Johnny Gargano in his specialty. Adam Cole beats Gargano in a street fight, his decision, and he wins the second fall, putting it 1-1. Now, William Regal comes out. What's the third fall going to be? He will decide if there is a tie. My prediction is I think Regal will probably choose... Man, it's tough. He can't choose a cage. You're not going to have a cage. He can choose a ladder, but it's going to be hard to get that all set up, a ladder match. He could choose I Quit, but I don't think they want to have either one of them quit. My best bet is he chooses a boring last man standing match. I think it turns into a last man standing match, just like last year's show during SummerSlam weekend, which was Gargano and Ciampa. And by the way, this is the first ever NXT TakeOver during SummerSlam weekend that's not going to take place in Brooklyn. That was in WrestleMania this year, but this is going to be the first SummerSlam for an NXT show that's taking place outside of Brooklyn, this one in Toronto. Anyway, in this main event, I think it goes to a last man standing, one apiece. Adam Cole wins. Gargano loses again in the last man standing match in the main event. Adam Cole retains the NXT Championship, beats Johnny Gargano in the last man standing, retains his title, and then at the end of the show, it ends with the Undisputed Era with all the gold. Adam Cole, your NXT champion. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, your NXT Tag Team Champions, and Roderick Strong, your North American Champion. All 4 champions. It'll be shock the system as the Undisputed Era claims gold at NXT TakeOver Toronto. So that's our predictions for the show. NXT always puts on great shows. I'm sure we'll have another fantastic show. Should be great. And I have no doubt in my mind that this show is going to blow SummerSlam out of the water.